Hey, what's going on? Last video I did was a little bit about an intro to sleight of mouth and how it actually works, within a sales process, like one part of sleight of mouth. So if we go over here, we understand what a belief structure is, cause, effect, meaning, which we have to get a little bit deeper on this, along with, and then how it fits into the sleight of mouth process. So if growing your business sounds like something that you were looking to do, or one-on-one sales, www.coachscottking.com. I was able to grow my business, of course, to six figures and beyond. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about language patterns, because when I was starting out, I wanted to study people that were millionaires and what did they think. See, that's what NLP is all about, right? NLP is about taking somebody's thought process and how they look at problems or how they look at the world, and being able to break that down, so you can make it teachable to somebody else who could follow, get similar results by understanding how somebody else thinks about a situation, right? So when I was learning how to grow my business, the biggest thing for me was learning how millionaires think, because if it was up to me, I would just have millions of dollars in the bank, and then that would somehow take care of my scarcity or my eagerness to want to, every day, right? Well, how could I alleviate fear or whatever? So my goal was, become a millionaire. Well, let's just focus on how millionaires think, right? Abundance mindset and a whole bunch of other things, right? So what I have here is some language patterns used by the Wolf of Wall Street. Uh, so you can check out, how they use language and how it works within a process, and then we can kind of break that down a little bit. So how it works with within a sales process, right? So for a DJ company, within a sales process for a DJ company. All right, I got it now. All right, so I'm gonna play a little bit of a piece and break it down a little bit for you, and then go into the next piece. Again, it's a little bit out of the ballpark for what a DJ does, but that's what I studied, right? I studied that to figure out how to mold it into a DJ process, because it's a different element, and I'll explain how that works as well. So here's the first piece, right?
Hello, John. How you doing today? You mailed in my company a postcard a few weeks back requesting information on penny stocks that had huge upside potential with very little downside risk. Does that ring a bell?
So the first thing that what happened was, like, he called a person, and he instantly started with getting a yes set. Now what he did was, he was explaining that person mailed in a postcard. So the reason that I'm calling you is because I'm of service to you, right? You mailed in a postcard. Here I am doing my due diligence. And then he gets a yes question by saying, you were wondering about how to have a little investment and then make a lot of money, which whatever penny stocks are, right? You could put $6,000 in and get $60,000. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in? And that's what he starts with. So once you get a yes, kind of like, let's say you're a door-to-door salesman, they open the door, you get a yes set as they're shutting the door in your face, and you like kind of peek your fingers in, and that's kind of how that works. You get a yes set. Now, how would that work in a DJ situation? I do it all the time, actually. I send out emails, and then they'll email me back. So I'll call them up and it's like, hey, I noticed that you responded to my email. You put your information inside of my website. Are you in need of entertainment for your wedding? Then of course they'll say yes. A little bit of a different angle. Trying to sell somebody $6,000 will get you $60,000. It's more like, well, you need an entertainment for your DJ. You need a DJ for your wedding. Is that something you're still interested in? So you get a yes. It's a lot softer of an intro than it would be for what he's trying to do, because he's going from cold to close, $6,000, and he's got to work fast, which as DJs, we don't have to work that fast if your marketing is done properly.
Great. Well, reason for the call today, John, is something just came across my desk, John. It is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share the idea with you. You got a minute?
So what he did there was he increased urgency, right? So he even lowered his voice. I got something that nobody else knows about, right? And I'm letting you in on a little bit of a secret. So he even did that with like the tone of his voice. He's like, hey man, I just found out this information. Do you want to get in on it? So again, more yes. Sense of urgency is always pretty important too, because if you act now, you'll be able to capitalize on, whatever the benefit is, versus if you don't act now, that this window of opportunity is gone, and then you'll just be kicking yourself later because you didn't take advantage of whatever it is. Now, we also do that within the DJ company as well. Be like, hey, look, you're getting married on Saturday. Saturday's a pretty popular day, right? So if you don't act now, I may not be available later. And of course, when you're first starting out, maybe you're not filling your calendar as much. Yet you still want to give a sense of urgency to the other person, because if they don't have, a desire to make a decision or a reason to make a decision, then they won't, right? They'll just let it go. Number 3.
Name of the company, Aerotine International. It is a cutting-edge, high-tech firm out of the Midwest, awaiting imminent patent approval on a next generation of radar detectors that have both huge military and civilian applications. Now, right now, John, the stock trades over the counter at 10 cents a share. And by the way, John, our analysts indicate it could go a heck of a lot higher than that. Your profit on a mere $6,000 investment would be upwards of $60,000. Exactly, you could pay off your mortgage.
All right, so there you go. All right, so he's fabricating a lot on what the information is, what this company is all about. It has military, is interested in buying this, implications, that kind of thing. Like, oh, this thing is like super exciting. Oh, he's creating, prestige. Like, oh, this is going to be so great. And I got some information for you that nobody's going to have. And then if you go to the sleight of mouth pattern, right? I don't know if you can see my mouse or not, but there's alternative or another outcome on the bottom right hand corner, right? So once he says, oh, it's $60,000, he says, that's my mortgage. And then he says, well, that could be, your mortgage. So he's, having them point at another outcome. All right. But the consequence, if you can see that in the middle of the screen, it's like, if you don't act now, you're not going to be able to, capitalize on whatever this deal is, right? So, again, looking at the sleight of mouth belief structure, or the different models of how to use language, right? You got X plus Y equals Z. If you act now, you'll be able to capitalize on, penny stocks that'll, have a huge return for you. And then, of course, another outcome. Once you get this huge return, you'll be able to pay off your mortgage. Now, not all of this stuff applies to the DJ who's DJing your wedding. You do, or could, imply some sort of scarcity where it's like, well, we're not available. And if you act now, because our prices could raise by the end of the year, or they could raise on demand, because certain days could be just heavier than others. And there's only so many of your team to be able to supply the services that you guys have. And of course, you guys will be building up your reputation and demand for your services as you continue along. So basically, I really wanted to break down, how language patterns work. And I actually have a whole script of how to, handle a Zoom call for a DJ Zoom call. It's not quite, Jordan Belfort, Leonardo DiCaprio, but it'll give you a blueprint of how to handle a Zoom sales call. I just recorded that video a couple of weeks ago. I haven't been able to figure out how to get it onto a sales page yet, so I could, have it for sale yet. If you guys come join me in the Facebook group, I'll be able to share it that way. But yeah, it's a whole script, me doing the whole routine and showing you how it works, how to get the yes sets, how to get the compliance sets, how to break down many different things within a sales call for wedding DJs. Well, that's pretty much all the time I have for now. Once again, if you want to learn more, www.coachscottking.com. I'll see you on the inside. Peace.